Welcome to Red Clay Tuesday. John here, you there. Thanks for hanging out as you always do. It is the beginning of the postseason. Today. So what we're going to do today, we're going to look at the matchups for today. We're going to look at the brackets for today, but we're also going to look at the MD-1s. And we will let you know what is planned for tomorrow as a part of all of our programming that we have here. And it's going to be an interesting dance because here this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it is round one. And we will walk you through it. And then every day, just so you know, welcome to the Red Clay Soccer Report, presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente, right there. There we go. So every day that there is postseason soccer here in the GHSA, we're going to bring you guests. We'll bring you brackets. We'll look at scores, look at schedules, the whole thing. Later on today in Red Clay, if you missed it, we caught up with Jacob Haygood, the head coach at Mary Persons on the boys' side, and asked him about his season. Only one loss heading into the postseason in AAA on the boys' side, probably one of the more competitive classes, regardless, top to bottom. And we caught up with him yesterday, leading into the match today, leading into the match. It's leading into the match today. And so we got the entire intel of the Mary Persons boys season leading into the matchups here on the afternoon. So here's the rundown. It's going to be brackets. It's going to be times. We'll get you set for the MD minus, and then we're going to catch up with Coach Haygood. Then after that, we'll get into the MD-1s, let you know what's happening tomorrow. So that'll be your rundown. So here is, as we know it, brought to us by our friends at the GHSA right here. And just so you know, once again, our breakdown is going to start on Thursday at Ola. Cambridge and Ola, doubleheader, 6 and 8 here on the network. And Drew and Jason and I will be there. So we'll break all that down for you on Thursday. We'll be down there. It'll be our first visit to catch up with the Mustangs, but they have a doubleheader with Cambridge. And we figured, we haven't been there before. So we're going to go. And so we're going. That's, pretty much the end of it right there. We haven't been. They've wanted us to come down. They have 2 matches. So we're going. 6 and 8 on the network. SoccerDownHere.net. Go to the Listen tab, and you hit that, and then you'll see SDH1, SDH2, and the podcast archive. And from that, you can figure out which channel is live. And you go into that channel, you'll see the game that's going on. You hit play, and then you're off and running. And tell your friends, a lot of them, because that's where we're going to be. And then we're setting up our matchups for next week. Right now, we've got a couple of ideas. If X happens, then this. And so that's kind of what we're thinking about for all of these matchups that we have going on, round number 1 and 2. And yes, we have projected our way all the way through it. If this, then this, in what our path may look like when it comes to matchups that are getting called. So we're going to go through today's matchups, today's brackets, today's times. You'll hear from Jacob Haygood from Mary Persons. We'll come back out, then we'll look at the MD-1s, and then we'll get you ready for the rest of your lunch. Tomorrow, Mike Petit, the head coach of the boys and girls sides at Callaway, is going to be joining us on SDH-AM at 9:10. Then here in Red Clay on a Red Clay Wednesday, it's going to be Daniel Cornejo, the boys coach at Dodge County, and Chad Griffin, the coach at Hebron Christian. So that's going to be the rundown. We'll go over scores and everything from there. So we're off and running literally as of today. So here is the rundown of the brackets. Like I said, we'll get into times after today. So here's today's matchups as we have them across the board in Class A Division I. We're going to start on the girls' side. Upper left, Putnam County's at Thomasville. Barrow is at Berrien. Commerce is at Armurchie, Fitzgerald, and Social Circle. That is all upper left. It's going to be an interesting matchup for Coach Richardson and for Social Circle here in round number 1. Low left, Temple at Fannin, Rabun at Vidalia, Swainsboro is at Worth. So you've got Swainsboro and Sylvester. And then Coosa is in Barnesville to take on Lamar County. That is low left in your brackets, Class A Division I girls. Harrelson's at Model. Now we're upper right. Harrelson's at Model in the 30-3. Jasper County at Woodville Tompkins. They probably are leaving now. Dodge County is at Toombs. Oglethorpe is at Jeff Davis. You do have the opportunity, and just to give you a heads up, you will have the opportunity in round number 2, if chalk happens, for a second round matchup in Class A Division I girls. You could have the number 6 and the number 7 teams facing off in round number 2 in your brackets, because power rankings have Jeff Davis ranked at number 6 and Toombs County ranked at number 11. Jeff Davis is at 16-2. Toombs County is at 10-5. You could have a matchup of number 6 versus number 7 in the rankings a week from today if both of them win today. Then low right, you've got East Laurens and Bremen, Dade and Bleckley. Bleckley is number 10. Dade County's at 23. I imagine that Dade County is well on their way. They probably left the middle of this morning after brunch. And Bleckley County, team 10 in the power rankings, team number 9 in the power rankings. Social Circle is team 8 in the power rankings, ranked number 10. Central Macon is at Pepperell, and Gordon Central is at Ace Charter. Class A Division II girls, Trutland gets to watch as Towns and Irwin play each other. Metter and Atlanta Classical, and then the winner of that one gets Crawford County. Let's take a peek at the rankings and kind of cross-reference the whole thing here. So, Class A Division II girls. So, Irwin County is ranked number 3. They're hosting Towns in Osceola. I imagine Towns County left shortly after breakfast this morning. And you could have Irwin and Trutland in round number 2. Irwin, once again, ranked number 3. Trutland is ranked number 9, Class A Division II girls. Metter and Atlanta Classical. Atlanta Classical is ranked number 6. Winner of that one gets Crawford County. Crawford County is not ranked. Low left, Furlough Charter and Lake Oconee Academy. LOA is ranked number 10. Winner of that one gets Brooks County. Brooks County's girls are not ranked. Elite Scholars and Montgomery County. Winner of that one gets Screven County. Screven County, top-ranked team in Class A Division II, and they are 17-1 at Area 3, team number 1. Upper right, Southwest Georgia STEM goes to Claxton. They wait for Tryon. Tryon waits for them. Tryon ranked number 5. Lanier and Lincoln square off, and the winner of that one gets Georgia Military. GMC is at number 4 in the rankings. Low right, Chatco. We caught up with Rusty Oliver last week, and he waits for the winner of Mount Zion, Carroll, and Portal. Washington Wilkes waits for the winner of Dooley and Atkinson on the girls' side. Atco is ranked at number 7. So that is Class A Division II. Class AAA girls and 5A girls are the other matchups that are going on today. Class AAA girls, Riverdale and Oconee County. That one is your 132. And Oconee County ranked number 1, team number 1. Pickens is at Calhoun. Calhoun is ranked at number 8. Power rankings have them at number 16. Mary Person's girls' side goes to ARC. ARC is ranked number 9, and they're power ranked at number 9. LaGrange and Lumpkin. Lumpkin is ranked number 5, but power ranked at number 8. That's upper left-hand corner. And like I said, we'll catch up with Jacob Haygood on the boys' side coming up in a bit. So it is low left AAA girls. It is Heritage Catoosa at Peach. Peach, by the way, 5 in the power rankings, not ranked in the top 10. West Laurens is at Bainbridge in that mini bracket. Johnson Gainville is at Mount Zion Jonesboro. Douglas is at Adairsville. Adairsville is ranked number 2, power ranked at number 4 in AAA girls. Upper right, Cairo is at Harlem. Harlem is ranked number 4, number 3 in the power rankings. Upson Lee, Dawson County, Monroe area, and Long County. If you missed the interview with Christy Versprill last week, it's up on the network. Long County at 14-3, playing a home game, but it's going to have to be on the road because it can't be on campus. So Team 22 and Team 11. Islands and Luella, that is upper right. Low right, Spalding and Jefferson. Jefferson ranked number 6, and they're number 7 in the power ranking. Southeast Bullock, Northwest Whitfield, and it is Cherokee Bluff and Sandy Creek, and it is Westover and Whitewater. Whitewater is ranked number 3. So that gets us to 5A girls. And in 5A, it is actual region standings. It's not power rankings. So 5A girls here in your activity on bracket Tuesday. It is Glen Academy, Jackson County, Chattahoochee, and Chamblee. Chamblee is ranked number 9 after getting the region championship out of region number 4. Kennesaw Mountain and McIntosh. McIntosh is ranked number 5, but they lost a region match to Northgate, and so that's why Northgate ranked number 3, McIntosh ranked number 5. Northgate, your region champ out of region 3, and McIntosh is your number 2. Then it's Creekview and Houston County. Houston County continues to rack up region titles. I think they've won region 2, 3 of the last 4 years. And so McIntosh has a matchup waiting for them, I'm guessing at Freedom Field a week from today if the favorites were to advance. Low left, Hab Central, Lakeside Evans, Dunwoody, and Roswell. Roswell is number 2 in the rankings after winning the Region 7 title. Noonan and Rome. Rome is ranked number 10 as the Region 5 runner-up. Lee County goes to Riverwood. Riverwood is ranked number 1 in 5A girls, according to our friends at Scoreboard, SCORBORD. Thomas County Central and Lassiter, upper right. Lassiter, your region runner-up in Region 6. They're ranked number 6. Villa Rica and Northgate, we mentioned Northgate being at number 3. Decatur and Johns Creek. Johns Creek is at number 4. All of the ranked teams literally are upper right in the bracket. Clark Central and Greenbrier. Greenbrier, once again, not ranked. Region champ in Region 1. So you have the number 6 ranked team, the number 3 ranked team. You have the number 4 ranked team, all in the upper right-hand part of the bracket. Pope, ranked number 7. They're the 3 team out of Region 6. They travel to Veterans. Veterans is not ranked. Hughes and Alexander. Alexander is ranked number 8. Milton, Woodward Academy, and South Effingham and Loganville. Loganville is a region champ out of Region 8, and they are not ranked. So that is your lineup for today in your brackets as you fill them out in pen from now on. So let's look at the brackets and look at your scores today and let you know. Now, is it? It's all girls today, right? Let's see. So let me double check real quick. All right. So that's 24. So girls. Yeah. So it is all girls. 4 of the brackets today are girls. 74 matches go on today. And this is a hybrid, according to our friends at Max Preps, from the rundown of our folks in the GICAA, the GIAA, and the GHSA. And so, obviously, you have some of the matches starting 3 and 4:30 this afternoon. Southeast Bullock and Northwest Whitfield, that's a 4:30 start because you're traveling from Brooklet to Tunnel Hill. Metter and Atlanta Classical is at 4:30. Dodge and Toombs is at 5. That's a great matchup in that part of the state. You've got Rabun County and Vidalia. That one's at 5 o'clock. You have Putnam County and Thomasville. Thomasville, 18-0. 18-0 Thomasville, and they are the number 1 team, Class A D1 girls. They play at 5 o'clock. Dayton Bleckley is at 5. All these are at 5 o'clock unless I find a different time. So you've got Frederica is playing their matchup at 5 o'clock as well. George Walton Academy is at 5 o'clock with their home game today. Monroe area and Long County is at 5:30, and now how do I phrase this? The curiosity's getting to me. So I got to figure out where is this game? Where is the game with Long County High? And it's giving me like Long Island stuff. And I'm like, no, I don't want Long Island. That is not what I'm looking for. So go here. We'll go ahead and go this way, considering that's not what I want. And so we'll go girls soccer. The only thing that it gave me was the American football grouping. So Long County is team number 11. You see, I'm going to have to workshop this here on the air. So AAA girls. All right. So AAA girls. And let's see. So are you in Region 2? AAA? No, it's over on the other side. Region 2 AAA is over there. No, that's not what I wanted. So Region 2 is there. So what was Region 1? So who would Region 1 AAA be? Peach, Bainbridge, Cairo, Westover, Doherty, and Monroe. Okay, so we're getting warmer. So let's see. Region 1 triple. So Region 3 AAA would be Calvary Day, Long County. Okay, so Long County wrapped up 14-3 and 8-1. So here, Calvary Day, Long County, and Islands, they're all right there. So Monroe area, the matchup at 5:30. This is not going to be at Long County High School. So let's see. So buy tickets. So if we go to GoFan and want to buy tickets for this particular matchup, it is okay. So they're going to play this one at Liberty County High School. That was what I was asking. So Long County and Monroe is going to be at Liberty County High School. Well, it's Monroe area. So it's going to be played at Liberty County High School, one county over. Because if you remember the interview that we had with Coach Verspreel, they're tearing up everything in the stadium and they're putting in a new surface. So all of the matchups this year for Long County have been on the road. And so they're going to be at Liberty County High School. If you're in Hinesville or anywhere close, Monroe area, Long County, 5:30. Terrell Academy and Tift area is at 5:30, as is Clark Central and Greenbrier. Islands and Luella is at 5:30, as is West Lawrence and Bainbridge, Haralson County and Model, Creekview and Houston County, Robert Toombs and Windsor Academy, Glenn Academy, Jackson County, Valwood and Deerfield Windsor, Brookstone and Strong Rock, Swainsboro and Worth, Stratford and John Millage. Then you have Lanier and Lincoln at 5:30 in Lincolnton, Southwest Georgia STEM and Claxton's at 5:30, Pickens and Calhoun, Cooses at Lamar, Heritage and Peach County, who is 17-1, 6 o'clock kicks, East Lawrence and Bremen, Spalding at Jefferson, Douglas and Adairsville chasing after win 16, Mary Persons and ARC, Johnson, Gainesville, and Mount Zion. Carroll is at 6. Central Macon and Pepperell, Cairo and Harlem. It is, let's see. So, who is this one? This one, I'm confused. Oh, Montgomery County and Elite Scholars is at 6 o'clock. That one is in Mount Vernon at Montgomery County High School. Literally, it's right across the street from Bruton Parker College. So, if you get lost, you find your way to Bruton Parker College, then you should be in pretty decent shape. So, also, it is Douglas and Adairsville. We mentioned that one. Central Pepperell, Cairo, Harlem. Montgomery County's at 6. Barrow and Berrien is at 6, as is Upsonley and Dawson, Langston Hughes and Alexander, Dooley and Atco, Commerce and Armurchie, Kennesaw Mountain and McIntosh. 6:30, it is Villarica and Northgate, as Northgate is chasing after win number 16, and Pinecrest Academy is chasing after their 14th win at 7:30 tonight. And so that is the rundown of everything that we have today. Matchups once again picking up again tomorrow with D1 boys, D2 boys, AAA boys, and 5A boys. That's your activity on the 22nd. We'll come back and look at those on the flip side of this interview. Part of the action going on involves Mary Persons. And Mary Persons has both teams in the playoffs in AAA, and their AAA window opens up tomorrow. So with Mary Persons hosting Riverdale on the boys' side tomorrow, what we decided to do is we knocked on the door down in Forsyth, and we got Coach Haygood to answer. So here is your preview and review of everything on the Mary Persons side of things on the boys' side, and what Coach Haygood thought about the season coming in after losing all the seniors, and what everything means to everybody down there in Forsyth if you missed it this morning here on SDHAM. So here's our interview, Jacob Haygood, the head coach on the boys' side, Mary Persons, as they get ready for the 24-9 matchup tomorrow in AAA against Riverdale. Here's the interview. So if I had told you that at the end of the regular season, you would have the record that you had going into the postseason, what would you have told me?
To be fair, we graduated 10 seniors last year. So I was almost worried that we were going to be a rebuilding year this year. But we had some guys come and step in this year and really filled some holes filled some spots that we graduated last year. So I had talked to a couple people before the season, and they were like, "Oh, it's going to be a rebuilding year for you, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, we'll probably come out. We'll probably be decent. We got some quality players, but I did not think we were going to be 17-1 at the end of this regular season now."
And I do want to get into introducing your players to the rest of the state here as we go, as you and I are catching up. But when you look back on the regular season, seasons 1 and 2, the non-region and the region, was there a moment in the season where you sat there and went, yeah, I think something's kind of clicking here with everything that had happened, all the graduation, everything? Was there a moment where you kind of sat there and had an aha that, yeah, you might be doing something here?
So a couple guys that played the MLS Next League decided to not play this season. Mm-hmm. So that was a couple players that came in that I wasn't expecting to come in. So when I had 4 players, my goalkeeper, my center back, my center attacking mid, and my striker all played MLS Next. That's the spine of the team. And all 4 of them came in, and all 4 of them obviously were starting now. And those are 4 positions we really needed that I didn't know I was going to have, that I almost lucked into. So after the first game or two, once they started to click with each other, because some of those guys hadn't played in the years past, I was like, dang, we might be something serious here this year.
When you go into a season like this, and I know that not every win is perfect, and I know that not every loss is a 0. And it's like, I know that not every win's 100, not every loss is a 0. That one blemish went to LaGrange back at the tail end of February. What did you learn about yourself in that game that you've applied going forward that helped you out the rest of the year?
So 2 of the 3 goals I thought were very unlucky. I think if we play LaGrange again today, we beat them 70%, 70-30. Mm-hmm. I think we're the more talented team. We didn't play great that day. They had a good free kick. The first goal was a good free kick, bounced off the post, hit my keeper in the back, went in the goal. Oh. Like, okay, come on, boys, let's put it together. It's fine. Let's go do the thing. Couple, 20 minutes later, our keeper comes out in a 1v1. He makes a K save, hits him in the calf, falls down. He sits on the ball, and it squirts out the back and goes in the goal for our second goal. So those are 2 goals that I'm just like, how unlucky can we be?
Yeah.
And then the third one, we were down 2-1 with 10 minutes left, and I knew that between us, LaGrange, and Whitewater, those are going to be the top 3 in the region. So I said, let's push the boys forward, because whether we lose by 1 or lose by 4, it doesn't matter. We got to go get a goal. So I pushed everybody forward, and they snuck a goal in the last 2 minutes when we had a corner kick, and I sent literally everybody forward except my goalkeeper. They cleared it out. They countered 2v my goalkeeper, and you know how that ended. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it was a 1 good goal, 2 questionable goals, but I mean, luck counts. Napoleon said, "I'd rather have a lucky general than a good one."
Right.
And I think that was a difference maker, and that was the luck that day. But if we play again, I don't think we have those unlucky chances, and we would be much more even in the next round.
When you look at region, and for those that may necessarily be familiar, half of the classifications, they go with region standings. The other half, they go with math. And I know that I'm fairly certain that you have a set-aside mathematician to help you out this entire year to figure out, okay, where you are mathematically when it comes to power rankings and stuff. But in Region 2 AAA, and you mentioned it, it's LaGrange, it's you, and it's Whitewater. And it is 3 teams, double-digit wins. LaGrange wrapped up with 12. You were 17-1. Whitewater was 10-6. How tough is Region 2 AAA just on its own? And then I'll ask about AAA as a follow-up as a class. But how tough is Region 2 AAA for someone who hadn't seen it?
Dang, I wish I literally wrote down our ranks this morning, and I left it at school. But the top 3 teams all finished, I believe. I think I still have it pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
Finished, we were power ranked 3. LaGrange was 7, and Whitewater was 14.
Mm-hmm.
So three of our teams are in the top 15 in the state. All 3 of those are in the same region there.
Yeah.
And then our next one, who was our next one?
That would be Trinity Christian.
Trinity, yeah.
You got Trinity and Troop both at 4-4, and Sandy Creek, who was below 500 in region but was 11-6 overall.
So Sandy and Trinity are both dark horses. Sometimes they're pretty talented. Sometimes they're not as good. I think Trinity was down this year. I thought we played really well against Sandy Creek, and kind of put it to them. But they played well throughout the rest of the season. Sandy Creek did. So like out of the what do you have 9 teams in a region? Out of the 9 teams, 5 of them could be competitive in any regions. 5 or 6. You could put them in any. You could put us in any region, and we would be mid-range top team in the region.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at just when you look at the team rankings in the grid in the AAA bracket, it is Whitewater who is listed at team 16, which to me is nuts. You're at number 9. Then Troop is at 28. Then Sandy Creek is at 20. And who am I missing here? Let's see, Whitewater. It was
Whitewater.
And so Whitewater's in this too. And
15,
so you're looking at 5 teams that are, and LaGrange is 6. And the thing is that they stacked 4 of the 5 on the left-hand side of the bracket out of your region that you all got to fight each other to get out of the left-hand side. And LaGrange is kind of sitting over there on the right-hand side is ranked team number 6. It's like, gee, thanks, math. I mean, thanks for helping us out with the bracket.
Yeah, math didn't work in our favor this year.
How tough is AAA?
I think it's this weird balance of like some schools have a lot of talent. Like when you get to 5 and 6A, you just have the population's so big that you're going to have quality players in the population. But in the 2A, 3A area, it really depends on like where you're located, like how close a club is nearby. Are you having to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours to go play travel ball? Like all those Atlanta 3A schools are good because they got AFC, they got all these different clubs within 20 minutes. And I'm begging my guys to go play at AFC, and they're like, I got to drive an hour. But I'm like, come on, guys. So, I mean, I think at the 3A level, it's a lot about location.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes, and because the population is so much smaller, it goes through waves where most teams will have 2 or 3 really good years and they'll graduate a big class and have 2 or 3 down years. While you have your teams like Johns Creek and you have your teams like, McIntosh, which are always going to be talented teams regardless of what year it is.
In AAA this season in the top 10, Johnson, Gainesville, Northwest Whitfield, Islands, and Coney County's at 4, West Orange, LaGrange, Chestatee. You're at number 8 in the rankings, and it's Jenkins and Bainbridge wrapping up the top 10, which was released back on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good balanced representation of where the pockets are in the state, because with what Frank does at Johnson, Gainesville, you look up that direction, it's Johnson and Chestatee, and you're heading up that way. And then there's the Athens group, and then there's the group on the coast, and then what you're doing there in middle Georgia, and then the Western frontier with what's going on at places like LaGrange and all of that. I think it's one of the more geographically well-rounded regions on the boys side, at least in the top 10, if that makes any sense.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Like I said, like you said, there's a couple pockets where it's like here and here and here and here and there, and if you're between those areas, you do okay sometimes, and you do okay, not so okay next times. But yeah, we're pretty well spread.
When you look at what you were able to do this year, a lot of folks, they'll look at a couple of stats, and you look at obviously your goal difference is at 48, 18 matches, 61 goals. So that's like 3.5 goals a game, but you only gave up 13 the entire season, and 3 of those were in the loss to LaGrange. What is it about this defense of yours that's really struck out to you this year?
So we have a kid named Kellen Russo who just signed at Mercer University. So he's a D1 goalkeeper, and he's really solid between the sticks. Like, he makes some saves sometimes, and I'm just like, oh well, there's a goal. He's like, bang, no, it's not. And I'm like, oh well done, Kellen. And then sitting right in front of him, we have another guy, a center back, who's quite possibly one of the best center backs to ever come through our school. Extremely talented player. Mm-hmm. And then our two outside backs, they work extremely hard. They're always willing to fight for each other. So, I mean, we play a 3-back most of the time. And we have two CDMs that run the middle of the field. They're not necessarily the most physically imposing CDMs. They're both kind of small and skinny, but they're willing to go into challenges. And they have both of them have the engine that they can just run around. I don't know how they do it. They just run. My big old 230-pound self, I run out there for 15 minutes and I'm huffing and puffing. Mm-hmm. These kids will play for 80 and then be like, all right, coach, I'm going to go for a jog. I'm like, no, go home and go to bed. Like, but no, just have, like, the way I have my defense structured is they have to come back to the middle to score. Mm-hmm. Like, you can have the flanks. I don't care. So we just pack the middle of the box. We got 5 guys in a triangle in the middle of the box. Break us down if you dare. So,
what has study hall been like getting ready for Riverdale in this 24-9 matchup coming up?
So I got the film on them this morning. I haven't had time to watch it. I plan on doing that this evening.
Okay.
But they look decent. I think they finished 8-6 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But they played some talented teams. So it's not like they just were playing scrubs all season. So, I'm hoping we can go out and get an easy win. Go and, as I like to tell the boys, go out and punch them in the mouth. Mm-hmm. Okay, get 2 or 3 goals early in, and then we can grind or ride through the rest of the game. Because playoffs is a different animal. When you're playing in your region and you're playing your regular season games, it's like, okay, we always have next game to fall back on. Well, in playoffs, you don't have that opportunity. Like, every game has to be your best game from now on. So I'm looking to get it figured out this evening and implement some stuff tomorrow at practice.
Yes, and obviously keeping that under your hat and sitting there, it's like, I'm not telling Nelson a thing. I'm not going to let him know what's going on. When it comes to the support there in Monroe County and there in Forsyth, Forsyth, how would you break down what the support is like for the program on the whole? Because it's a season where both boys and girls are making postseason inroads. How would you break down the support there in Monroe County?
Like fan base or from the school?
Yes, to answer your question.
Yes. So our fans, we have a little student section that comes out to most games, and we fill out a little student section area, and they do a really good job at like bringing the energy. Sometimes during the boys' games, they can get a little bit rowdy, but I'd rather have some energy than just people sitting there doing nothing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we mostly fill up our half of the stands. We have a regular bleacher. I think we have 3 of them on our side and 2 of them on the away side. Right. We fill up our side almost every home game. So the support from the community is great. Our booster club is amazing. We have like 6-tupled the size of our booster club in the last 4 years.
Nice.
It went through a phase there where the same like 3 or 4 people were doing everything, and eventually they was like, "Look, I'm done and dusted." So 4 years ago, when I started coaching at Mary Persons, I restarted the booster club and put some people in positions that I knew were going to be successful. Because they've been successful businessmen and successful businesswomen and stuff like that. And so now we have a huge booster club. I think it's at like 40 members now.
Nice.
And we have at least 6 volunteers at every game, 3 in the concession stand, 2 in the press box, and 1 running around doing everything else, just whatever else is needed. So we have at least 6 volunteers at every home game. That's JV, varsity, and CTM included.
Nice.
And from our district, they put a ton of time and energy into the fields. We have, in my mind, we have one of the best soccer fields. It's a natural grass field, one of the best fields in the state of Georgia. because they put a ton of time, energy, and effort into it that I don't have to do as a coach, which I really appreciate. They come in, they top seed it before the season, they water it every day, they make sure it gets cut 3 times a week. Um, they make sure we have any like ants or stuff like that, or there's just like random facility stuff. They make sure when I put a ticket in, they get it done within the next couple of days or two. So I really appreciate what the Board of Education puts into the program as well.
When it comes to your roster, when I'm spending time on the American football side during the fall, when I'm spending time at Georgia Public, we Matt Stewart and I, we created basically this idea of make that kid an offer. And it's this concept of, okay, there are student athletes around the state that aren't getting the looks that they think they should be getting, their coaching staffs and their administrations and what have you, or they're just not getting looks, period. With us here at SDH, we have the equivalent where we call it the Georgia Call-Up, and it's the same premise.
Yeah.
Is there anyone on your roster that is a senior that would fit that, or a rising senior after this season is over, that would fit that moniker that folks need to sit there and put in the spot shadow and go, okay, I heard about this. I heard about this student athlete, and I need to keep an eye on him. With any of them in the call-up for you?
So I got a lot of young talent here too. A couple of those MLS Next guys came in; they're sophomores, so that's going to be for next season. But I got a senior striker, Jordan Mullis, who's I think 3 goals away from hitting the all-time record for the school.
Really?
He's at 22 goals this season, I believe.
Okay.
And I think he's got no offers so far. I know at one point he really wanted to play in college. I'm not exactly sure if he still has that motivation right now. But I think if someone came and talked to him and looked at him, he would be willing to give it a try because he's a hard worker. He's one of the captains on the team. 22 goals. I think he has like 13 assists. Puts the work in every day. So he's the player. Obviously, Kellen, our goalkeeper, but he's already signed, so you can't give him another offer. Our center back, Connor Vantone, like I said, he's probably one of the best center backs to ever come through our school. And he is currently not signed anywhere. I think at the college level, he might not be stocky enough, but he would do great as an outside back. He would do great as your quick CDM. You have a big man and a small man. He would do great at either of those positions. One of the most common collected high school players I've ever seen in my life. Like 3 guys charging down his face. He's like, oh, I'll take a chest trap. I'll pull this ball over here, and I'll find pass out of the back. Like in high school, I would have dumped that thing. Just get this thing away from me. I don't want to be the one to mess up. But no, he just boom, boom, boop, ball out, perfect pass out. And he can also hit a 60-yard long ball into space and make it drop on your striker's foot. I mean, like the kid's unreal. He's really talented. And like I said, I got a couple sophomores, but if you just want juniors and seniors, those are the 3 main ones.
Okay. When you have a question of philosophy or just general thought, do you have anybody on your speed dial that you can sit there and just bounce ideas off of? Who is your Yoda? Do you have Yodas? Do you have buddies that you can sit there and call up immediately if you have like a philosophical question about approach or anything like that?
One of my I worked at I assistant coached at Wesleyan College for a season, and the head coach at the time there, Topper Kogan, I bounce ideas off of him, but he also coaches at Peach County. So I can't bounce too many ideas off of him, because then he's hearing what I can. But if we're playing common opponents, I can work with him. He was like my mentor a couple years ago. I guess it was 5 years ago now. He taught me a bunch of stuff, and he's a big goalkeeper coach. So I learned a lot of goalkeeper training through him. And then my high school coach, Keith Groper, his son plays on my team now. So I can bounce ideas off of him because Keith played in college, was my high school coach at Mary Persons. So it's fun. It's nice to have my coach because I learned a lot of what I know as a coach from him because I was playing under him. And then I can now, looking at it from a coaching perspective, I can say, hey, what can I do? What's working here? What can you see from this angle that I can't see from this angle? So it's nice to have that second, essentially second coach that sits on the sideline or in the stands and can see from a different angle.
And that's one of the things that I notice about Mary Persons that you mention it, and it applies to other sports there as well, is that history is there. And the legacies and the other coaches and the understandings about it and being there and being entrenched in the idea of Mary Persons athletics. It's not somebody that's going to be there as like a, one or two and then they're out, but there are legacies there that continue the run. I think that's really an interesting aspect that you bring up there when it comes to soccer at Mary Persons now too.
I think Groper coached for, I think there was a guy for 2 years before him, and he was there for like 11. And then we've had a couple coaches after him. I think 3 coaches after him. And then I stepped up. This is my second year with the boys now. But yeah, I mean, Monroe County Schools is such a nice school district that once you get in, you don't want to leave. And it's got a small town feel, being, a small 3A town. But if you want to go do something, it's only 20 minutes to Macon. You can go do something in Macon, Georgia. Or if you really want to do something, it's only 45 minutes to an hour to Atlanta. So it's got the small town feel, but within a short time, you can get to, a movie theater or a bowling alley. Or if you want to go, to Atlanta and eat fogo de chao, you can go up there and do that. So I think once people settle in for Scythe, they realize this is a really nice area to be in and nice area to raise our kids.
All right. So last question, hit the promo for me. And for folks that want to go see this 24-9 matchup on the 22nd, where are they going? What are they doing?
You mean where can you see the game?
Where can you go? Where can you walk in the door and sit and watch this?
So it's going to be streamed on NFHS.
Right.
It'll be there, of course, but you have to have your membership to NFHS.
Right.
There is going to be, we have a local guy that does the radio. He does radio for a couple. What's the name of the app? Golly. Does radio for a couple of the sports and activities.
Okay.
I'm trying to find his app on my phone, and I can't find it.
Well, and then what if they want to walk in the door and sit and watch? Where are they going?
So it's Monroe County Middle School. We're actually behind the middle school.
Okay.
Do you want the address of the middle school?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Monroe County Middle. That's good.
Monroe County Middle.
Yeah.
It'll be behind Monroe County Middle School.
Okay.
I'm parking the big parking lot behind the school. It's fairly easy. You should be able to see the light poles from the road. You pull in behind the middle school, park there, and come in and watch us. It'll be on GoFan. Tickets on GoFan. So come see us.
What time's kickoff?
6:30 kickoff.
Okay, so it's a 6:30 kick in the 24-9 Riverdale and Mary Persons. Upper left as you fill out your brackets in pen. Jacob, it's good to see you, and you've had a great season so far. That's why I knocked on your door, and I wanted to see what was going on and what's the secrets. I needed to get all the intel as your upper left AAA bracket. Thanks for dropping by. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I found the app. It's called Sports Mic.
Oh, okay.
Sports Mic Radio.
I know those dudes.
Yeah.
So it's the Sports Mic folks, and I will probably just sit there and I'll ring them up and sit there and go, hey, you guys got talked about on SDA.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty good guys. They have come and they do a couple of they do like Houston County games. They do some for Monroe County games. They go up and do some whatever county is north of us. I forgot.
I think Lamar. I think
Barnes, they do some of them as well.
Yeah, so
they bounce around.
Yes,
but they're from Forsyth, so they come and do a lot of they just did the baseball game I guess it was Friday.
And that's what I get for my conversation. Here we go. Where am I? Hang on just a second. Wait a second here. Where am I? Oh, show camera. Actually, I have to hit the button. Show camera. That'll help. All right. So that was the conversation that we had with Jacob Haygood. Don't forget, tomorrow it is the 24-9 matchup, and that is at Monroe Middle. So tomorrow, just to give you an idea for your preparations, tomorrow it is Class A D1 boys, Class A D2 boys, Triple A boys, 5A boys. So that's what you're staring at tomorrow. Really quickly, we'll get into rankings and everything tomorrow. Jeff Coe's at Model. Temple is at Fitzgerald. Coosa is at Jasper County. Bleckley County boys at Toombs County. Low left, Class A D1 boys. Central Macon at Thomasville. Gordon Central, Woodville, Tompkins. Wow, they got to leave after breakfast. Bremen's at Towers. Dalton Academy's at Fannin County. That's not a bad trip for Dalton Academy. Just hop across the mountains and you're there. Upper right, Dade at Putnam. Vidalia at Lamar. Swainsboro's at Barrow Arts. Banks is at Jeff Davis. Then it is low right, Rabun County, Armurchie, East Lawrence, and Dodge, Berrien Social Circle, Worth County, and Ace Charter. Class A D2 boys, Montgomery County waits for the winner of Washington Wilkes and Atco. That one is in Pearson. MCA and Tryon. Winner of that one goes to Montezuma to take on Macon County. Furlough Charter takes on Lake Oconee Academy. Winner of that one takes on Eccles, and Eccles got the bye as Team 3's Area 1. I would imagine that they would go to Lake Oconee Academy. Atlanta Classical and Dooley County square off, and like I said, we're going to have Coach Cornejo from Dodge on tomorrow as well. So we'll have that one squared away. So Atlanta Classical and Dooley, winner of that one gets Metter. Upper right, Crawford County Claxton. Winner of that one, Mount Zion Carroll's waiting for that one. Irwin and Towns, that one's in Hiawassee. Winner of that one gets GMC in Milledgeville a week from tomorrow. Low right, Chatco is waiting for the winner of Elite Scholars and Portal. That one is in Bullitt County, by the way. Lincoln County waits for the winner of Troutland and Brooks. That's a low-key good matchup in Class A Division II. AAA boys tomorrow. Doherty and Islands on the coast. Doherty's leaving after breakfast. Chestatee at Whitewater. Riverdale at Mary Persons, like we've been talking with Coach Haygood. And Heritage Catoosa is at Stone Mountain. Troop and Northwest Whitfield, low right. Keep an eye on that one. Johnson Savannah takes on Jefferson's boys. Sandy Creek at North Clayton. Gilmer is at Bainbridge. Upper right, AAA boys, Howard West Lawrence. Peach County's at Lumpkin. Dawson is at Calhoun. And Luella is at LaGrange. ARC is at Oconee County. Harlem is at Cairo. East Hall is at Jenkins, Savannah. And West Hall goes the 12 feet to go take on Johnson, Gainesville, and AAA. 5A, it is Greenbrier, Jackson County. Milton is at Decatur. Alexander is at Northgate. Lassiter travels to Leesburg to take on Lee County. Low left, Hab Central and Evans. Woodward Academy, Johns Creek. Noonan and Rome, Coffee and Riverwood. You could have Johns Creek and Riverwood to get out of the bracket in the quarters. Upper right, Houston County, River Ridge, Lithia Springs, and McIntosh. You could have next week from tomorrow, you could have River Ridge at McIntosh, boys, second round. River Ridge loses in region. You're a 2 seed. You got to go to McIntosh if chalk holds tomorrow. Dunwoody at Chattahoochee. Winder Barrow is at Glen Academy. Pope and Veterans. So Pope and Veterans have their doubleheader as well. Lovejoy and Kennesaw Mountain. Gainesville, Lakeside DeKalb. South Effingham and Clark Central. And that gets you through the 22nd. So that is the rundown of what is going on today. And your MD-1s, thanks to Coach Haygood and Mary Persons for dropping by and breaking everything down on their season. The 24-9 matchup tomorrow at Madison at Morgan County Middle. And that's a good matchup for them to start things going. So once again, remember tomorrow, it is in the morning show. Mike Petit, the boys and girls head coach at Callaway, will talk about his season and what it's like for him. Then on Red Clay, it's going to be Daniel Cornejo, the boys head coach at Dodge County, Chad Griffin, the head coach at Hebron Christian, and that will get you through day number 2. But today is day number 1. So I will say this. If you are near any one of those places that we talked about that is having a match today in 5:30, 6:30 neighborhood, go. Enjoy the game. Share your love of the sport with others. Come back with good stories and come back and let us know what's going on there. So that is the rundown for Red Clay, brought to us by our friends at Kaiser Permanente for yet another day. Back at it again, 9:05 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We'll break it all down for you when it comes to a very, very busy midweek and a lot of stuff going on. So for everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Thanks again for hopping by for another go-round of the Red Clay Soccer Report on a Red Clay Tuesday. All starts now, season number 3. Play it safe, everybody. Mucho platial. We will catch up with you again tomorrow morning on a very, very busy week here in soccer in the Southeast. Mucho platial. Play it safe. Catch up with you soon.